Hey beautiful soul, welcome back to another video here on my channel. If you're new, hi, my name is Natalie and this is Be a Free Spirit. The focus on this channel is to help you through your ascension. I focus only on self-development. So self-development, self-awareness, self-love, just anything to do with kind of developing who you truly are. So you guys all know the drill. But today's video is another episode of Nat's Chats. So if you haven't seen the last one, I'll link it up in the cards. Again, like I don't care too much about the format of how I want to do this. If the overlay of like gaming doesn't really call to you guys, then yeah, let me know if you prefer this, kind of me talking to the camera. If this is something you guys prefer, totally fine. Spirit's just been pushing me to talk more in snippets of what I'm experiencing and what I'm learning, because I think it could help you guys. Maybe the experiences and the crap that I go through, I can kind of save you guys from going through that same long ass journey, right? Or whatever insights you get from these kind of little podcast forms, right? Whatever you get from this is meant to be. But today's episode is all about kind of learning who you vibe with and who you don't. So I really wanted to kind of talk about this, and me and my sister are just kind of going through a lot of the same growth pattern right now. We're both going through a lot of transition of accepting who we truly are, and I'm sure you guys can relate that it's hard, right? It's really hard to show up authentically you in every area, because society has really taught us to create subpersonalities. And I've talked about this in other videos. It's something that I'm studying called psychosynthesis. But our psyche, like our human psyche, creates subpersonalities in order to survive in the world. And so a lot of people have subpersonalities that they show to people when they're in the workplace versus when they hang out with their friends. You know, just different ways we show up in the world that aren't truly who we are, because we felt like it was never safe to be who we truly are, right? We were never taught to explore every avenue of yourself. We're taught to survive, right? And so that's kind of what is the hard part about really showing up who you truly are in every single aspect, because the problem is not everybody is going to accept you. Right? Like that's why people show up with subpersonalities, because our brain automatically, and again, this is all unconscious. It's not like we're being like, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna have these other parts of, I'm gonna show up not me on purpose. It's just our brain's way of kind of seeing the world around us and being like, okay, how am I gonna survive in a corporate work environment? I can't show up, being me, because people won't accept me and I won't be seen as professional. And so, it can be a struggle, right? And it's all unconscious behavior. But the more that you bring awareness to it, and the more that you step into your soul, right? The more that your soul is kind of the one in the driver's seat, then the more you will kind of attract the people you're meant to attract. So this is kind of what I want to talk about is, when you step into your power, you're showing up who you truly are, no mask. And not everyone is gonna vibe to that, and that's okay. It can be hard for us because as humans, we want so badly to be accepted, right? It's such a big part of how we biologically have survived, of wanting to be accepted by other humans. And so there's nothing wrong with that. But you just kind of have to learn. Even so, you could even argue, right? Biologically, back when we were still in the survival mindset and we had to live that way, people lived in groups, right? People had to be accepted by a group in order to survive. And so we still kind of hold on to this kind of connection piece. Plus, it's part of who we are. We're all connected to each other anyways. So of course we want to be accepted. But there's a billion people, right? Like we can't be accepted by everybody. We're not meant to. It's kind of like I've always talked about. If you haven't seen my collective message, the one I've done recently, I'll link it up in the cards, because that collective message really I talked a lot about kind of knowing that everybody has a message to share. Nobody is better than anyone else, okay? We're all on our own journey, and we're all here to share our own unique message. And there is people out there who vibrationally are meant to hear your message. So show up who you are. Show up who you are in every single way. I want to kind of share a little bit of like a story time, right? Just to kind of, I guess, again, my intention of doing these Nats chats is to really just kind of show you some of the self-development and growth stuff that I'm going through, in case you're going through it too, or you will be going through it, and then you won't feel so alone. Because it can be really hard when you're growing and healing and maybe you don't have as much support. So, you know, I've been on a huge job search lately, and you know, I say past Natalie because past versions of myself before I've kind of reached this higher level of consciousness and awareness and, you know, really soul connection, I would always kind of be a people pleaser. And when I would interview, I would kind of go with whatever they wanted, right? So an example would be, you know, when they're like, oh, what's your salary range? And, you know, I always used to freeze because there's a lot of other issues tied to like self-worth with money and stuff for me, but it was more about like, I couldn't show up and just, I knew what I deserved, but I was afraid that if I kind of showed up what I needed and I said what I needed, that they wouldn't like that and they wouldn't accept that. So it always just kind of fly under the radar, or I would always sell myself short. And this time around, you know, the universe is really helping me find the perfect opportunity because I've set the intention to do so. I'm manifesting the perfect opportunity. And in order to get that perfect opportunity, right, and you know, I don't mean quotations, because it will be exactly what I need. And that's why it's so beautiful and perfect, right? It's gonna help me in every way. Not that it's gonna be easy all the time, but now that I'm kind of in this place of knowing my worth and really showing up who I am, I'm going to attract that. So it's been hard to kind of show up, but now when I go into interviews, I don't hide parts of myself, and I know my worth. And I know that if a company doesn't vibe with that, whatever, you know, my resume looks exactly like my channel, basically, all that purple, you know, cosmic, because that's who I am. And, you know, I'm sure companies who have declined me have been like, wow, that's not professional. Well, you don't deserve my energy then. You don't deserve my strengths. And that's okay, right? Like, we just don't vibe. And that's kind of just where you have to come to, where if you just show up who you are and you don't care about acceptance, you're like, this is what I need and this is what I'm looking for, and you just show up confidently you, then again, what's meant to vibe with you will, and it will come to you easily. I'm sure everybody can relate out there that interviewing can be really scary, right? So it can be scary to kind of go through those processes of really putting yourself out there. But it's been such an easy journey because I am in the state of kind of knowing exactly what I'm looking for and not settling and showing up who I am. So I really wanted to share that because it can be hard to, it's easier said than done. It's like, well, yeah, I'm gonna show up me. But then when you get put in those situations, we get afraid that if we don't, if we show up who we truly are, then people won't accept us and we won't survive, right? Ultimately, that's the main root of why people are so afraid to show up who they are, because it comes down to an unconscious mindset of survival. It's very interesting, but this is what, you know, having a higher consciousness is all about, is you can come to the awareness of being like, I understand that. I understand that I'm not going to be accepted by everybody. Cool, that's fine, because I know the people who I am going to be accepted by, it's going to be true, right? Because they know who you truly are. You're not showing them a mask or a subpersonality, right? That's not who you are. That's just what your brain has created. Who you truly are is your soul, right? Everything inside. So I have cards here, as you can see, because I really wanted to pull some cards. I mean, I'll use any excuse to pull cards because, hello. But I thought it would just be nice, you know, to kind of just see. I just feel like this is a very empowering message. Plus we're in Leo season, and so I feel like a card reading could really aid in this. So I really just want to see what message Isis, this is the Isis Oracle. I want to see what Isis has to say for you and me, for both of us, all of us. And just give us a little bit of some words of encouragement for the end of this episode. So Isis, what would you like us all to know about showing up authentically who we are? What would you like us to know about that? One card, please. Thank you. Okay, so we have healing the divine masculine. The divine masculine within provides protection, discernment, healing, and a sense of deep safety and holding, even though the most uncomfortable circumstances in life can happen. Your inner masculine is going through a lot of healing right now, growing stronger in the ability to offer you inner protection and stability so that your inner feminine can blossom with creative expression. Love it. I love that because it is, think about, so inner masculine, okay? We all have masculine and feminine side to us. So I think, you know, when you really come to kind of standing in your own power, that is coming from the masculine side. The masculine side is about that, right? Protection of self, deep safety and holding, even though it could be uncomfortable at times, right? But we're all going through a healing of our inner masculine and really an inner healing of our feminine as well. This is beautiful. So this is the topic I had for you guys today. So I would love to hear down below what your thoughts are about really showing up authentically you and kind of vibing, you know, with people. And if you're learning this, or if you've already learned this, maybe you can share some tips down below or some of your stories or your thoughts around this. So I really want this Nats Chats kind of little series on my channel to just be a very casual. As you can see, I'm just sitting at my computer desk, and I want it to really just feel like we're just chatting. Like if you were here, we're just chatting along and chatting about a topic, and I'm just sharing what's going on in my life basically, and what Spirit's like, you need to talk about this. So yeah, I'm really excited. So I'd love to hear from you guys. If you prefer this format, let me know. Again, like I'm here to help you guys. So whatever visually is more helpful for you to receive this information, let me know. I'm also thinking about, let me know if this would be helpful for you guys as well, but I'm thinking of taking the audio from this and putting it like, you know, in a podcast, so that if you guys want to just listen to it and you don't care to actually see anything visual, then you can at least just get the information. So yeah, just let me know all that down below. But I hope you enjoyed this episode of Nats Chats. Remember, be yourself, and everything will fall into place for what's meant for you, and it will be a lot easier. Save a lot of energy, okay? So sending you so much love and light your way, and I will see you guys in the next video.